really like this movie. Stanley Kubrick's 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey is timeless. Not only because of its fine-tuned cinematography and chilling soundtrack, but it questions what is next for the evolution of humanity. The film opens at the dawn of man, with our pre-evolutionary ancestors behaving animalistically, fighting over meat, when they are met with a monolith. Although there is nothing outwardly notable or threatening, the sudden existence of it is enough to be perceived as unnatural. Upon the chaos caused by the arrival of this monolith, the apes discover that they are able to use bones as weapons. The apes making this discovery suggest that the monolith acts as a catalyst for the development of man, especially in the following scene when the apes are seen as having access to their own food, suggesting that the apes are approaching a higher level of civilization. A shot of the bone being thrown up into the air is abruptly switched to a shot of a space station. While these shots contrast each other, they both have the same purpose: to show the effects that the monolith, or in simple terms, evolution, have on humanity. The introduction to this chapter of the film is something to marvel at. For some, these drawn-out shots can feel self-indulgent. But by introducing more complex and high-level sets, Kubrick is able to distinctly contrast the civilization in the prior scene. The story offers a humorous perspective that the humans become infants in space, needing to be potty trained and eating what looks like baby food. And sure, showcasing some breathtaking cinematography in the process. Now that humans have these technological advancements, they were able to detect magnetic fields that are coming from what the audience knows as the second monolith. Again, the humans contrast the apes upon finding this monolith. Instead of fear and curiosity, the scene feels calm and cold. This is escalated by the astronaut costumes that conceal any facial expressions that the actors could be having. On the other hand, the scene actually mirrors the first scene with the apes exactly, even though it has a different feel. With the way that they're surrounding it and touching it, it's literally the exact same scene. Upon touching it, the monolith emits a loud, high-pitched ringing, and this isn't explained in the film, and so the audience is left feeling the same as the astronauts do in this scene. Should I redo that? No. This sound is for the monolith orbiting Jupiter, signaling that humans are about to reach it and thus advance beyond their current evolutionary state.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade.
So our protagonists, David Bowman, Frank Poole, along with 3 other men in hibernation pods, are aboard the Discovery 1. This spaceship is being sent to Jupiter to find the monolith's origin. Nobody on Earth knows what the purpose of this mission is, or even that it's happening, and the families of the people in the crew have been told that there has been an outbreak of a pandemic in space. On top of that, the astronauts don't actually really know what they're discovering either.
I know I've never completely freed myself of the suspicion that there are some extremely odd things about this mission. Certainly no one could have been unaware of the very strange stories floating around before we left. Rumors about something being dug up on the moon.
The men have advanced on to eating solid food that look like sandwiches. This is also signaling the audience that they have adapted enough to eat solid foods, so they're more like a toddler, a space toddler. Upon watching the film for the first time, the takeaway for many viewers is the conflict between Bauman and Hal. Hal is this like Siri-esque supercomputer, and he controls all of the spaceship. This portion of the film is very reflective of the time period because many shows like Twilight Zone, for instance, were trying to warn people of the effects that technology can have on humans. Sounds familiar. After Hal tells the men that there's something wrong with the antenna, Bauman has to exit the ship and check it out. Upon finding out that there's nothing wrong with the antenna, the two men come to the conclusion that Hal's being a little silly, kooky even. Hal suggests that the two men put the antenna back and let it fail to figure out what's wrong with it. The two men then enter the EVA pod to privately voice their concerns. They say that they want to shut down Hal's higher level brain functions. This is my favorite scene in the movie, and I have it painted back there. You can't see it, but you know. What the two men don't know is that Hal can read their lips, because he's a supercomputer. Hal gets pissed, so when Poole goes to put the antenna back, he cuts his oxygen, leaving him drifting in space. In an attempt to go save him, Bauman also exits the ship to grab him with the grabby things, and then he's locked out of the ship. During this time, Hal also cuts off the oxygen to all of the people in hibernation, killing the entire crew. Bauman then enters through the emergency airlock with no helmet on, which, after doing some research, this is actually possible, because you can be in space without a helmet on for about 15 seconds before you die. Bauman is completely alone in the ship, and in this musicless, painful scene, he slowly goes and turns off all of Hal's higher level brain function. This is also a really good part of the movie. Hal reminisces on his creator and sings to Bauman as he's gone. I don't know, as his higher level brain function is taken away.
Daisy, give me your answer.
And he's like, I can feel my mind going.
My mind is going.
It's a good part of the movie. Upon Hal's death, a video of Dr. Floyd conveniently plays, revealing the true intentions of the mission, which is to find the third monolith orbiting Jupiter. After landing on Jupiter, Bauman finds the third monolith, and upon coming in contact with it, he is transported through space and time in and this is in the script, psychedelic, kaleidoscopic, cinematic sequence. I don't know. I do not know. He finds himself in a hotel room of sorts, and it models an 18th century French living space. Bauman travels through the room and ages rapidly, until he eventually finds himself on his deathbed. Just as Bauman is about to die, the monolith appears at the foot of his bed. He reaches for it, and he is then transformed into a big-ass spiritual divine fetus. What does this mean? Many interpretations of this film involve some form of extraterrestrial life, often thought to be experimenting on the evolution of humans. The design imperfections in the hotel room at the end of the movie is a large component of this, as it could suggest that aliens created the room to look human-made. But since they aren't humans, there are key aspects that make it look off, like the glowing floor. This suggests that the entire evolution of humans has been one big experiment, and that it's all controlled by something that we can't even comprehend. While these theories could hold some weight, attributing the entire film to aliens is like the biggest injustice ever. For one, the film represents the entire arc of human life. The first chapter is infancy, like the development of physical abilities and identity. Adulthood is problem solving and experiencing loss. And then ultimately, if you live long enough, the development of physical abilities and identity will deteriorate until you are in a state similar to infancy. Another aspect of this is the motif of circles throughout the cinematography of the film. I literally did not explain this point at all, but basically like, the circle of life, you know? Like it's like the arc. Thank you. The unpredictable nature of human existence is also put into perspective under the belief of God. God could really just be a space baby that used to be an astronaut. I've made basically every member of my family and all of my friends watch this movie with me at least once. And every single time that I watch it, there's always questions that I don't know how to answer, and it never gets old. I notice something new literally every single time, and I don't think I could wrap it up all in one video. I'll leave linked a bunch of video essays that I use to help me with this video, and also just, there's no way. Oh my god. I feel like this is a sign that this video needs to be over now, but I'm gonna link any video essays that I watched in preparation to this video, and there's this one, I can't remember who it is, but I'll leave it at the top because it's literally so good, and he words everything so much better than I ever could, and in a British accent. Goodbye.
This is